Beaucroft is a British brand that we have always been such a massive fan of here at the Time+Tide studio ever since they joined us at the British Watchmakers Weekender 2024.
They've come from the early days of their Seeker signature lines and they've evolved into the Elements, and now based on the Contour GMT range we have a little special project coming along.
As you know, we have had a few collaborations now at Time+Tide with some incredible brands such as Furla Mari, Outback Elegy, the Denison Date Night, Baltic Night Mode, and of course the Zenith White and Night Surfer series. This is a special little piece that Barney and I and the team have worked on.
We wanted to focus on this model again, bringing all those studios together. We want to take you along the journey of design process, how the watches are made, going to the actual workshop and going to the assembly line and seeing how they're made. And we can't wait to bring you along on this journey.
I was thinking about more of a Time+Tide anchor at the middle dial, 6 o'clock inlay here.
And perhaps we can play around with the colours to see, maybe red, white, blue colouring there as well.
This is Time+Tide's first collaboration with a British brand. It's Beaucroft's first GMT, so you've got quite a responsibility there, Barney.
We love the guys from Beaucroft. The fact that we're launching this model together, it's a very big deal.
Hey, how's
it going?
So good to see you.
Hello,
Yeah, really excited to work on this project with you guys.
We are as well. Well, this is your creative space now for the day. We've kind of captured lots of inspirations and things around the room. And what we're going to do is just kind of build your watches from the ground up. The aim really is, at the end of this, to have mood boards for each of your watches captured here. So the colours, the little signature details.
What we've tried to do is break down the dial into these elements so that you can kind of clearly see which way you sort of want to build them. So we have the chapter ring here with the indices, obviously the outer track here, the GMT track.
So I feel like there's already kind of two stories there. First, British collaboration. There's lots of nice things in that. And then there's the adventure story. What would your adventure be?
Thinking of a hike, or I know you mentioned it there, but through some fjords or something like that, maybe.
You're copying my idea. Just got back from Norway. That was lovely.
So you could do perhaps a more neutral colour, like a grey.
Like a grey, blue, white, or sand earthy.
Why don't we surround this one with the lagoony, mountainous stuff?
Yeah.
And then another one we could do nature, fields, forest.
Okay, so there's some more classic British terrain.
Trees. I heard the idea the other day that the sun never sets on Time+Tide anymore. We're opening in New York now, so we're going to be on in 3 different continents. So is there a way we can incorporate 3 different continents, 3 different cities?
Because I suppose there's one country's day is ending, another one's is, like you were saying, is starting your concept. So maybe it's just everything without the darkness, isn't it? It's just sunset, sunrise, sunset.
I really like a sandy white, like an off-white. I don't know about you guys, but there was a lot of bluebells where I was growing
nice.
up.
That's a lovely one.
So we definitely have a more warmer tones going on here. Amber, sunrise, sunset.
You've got core colours and then you've got accent colours. So hands, dots, markings, numbers, that will all be the accent colours.
I think like a stony colour, like one of these, with like a greeny here, or even like a pastel-y green.
I think that's perfect for the kind of core colours. And then accent colour, I mean, we don't have to have that, we just have the accents at the top. So maybe...
We could have, maybe this
you like
here.
reds, white, yellow.
The lavender, you could have...
Lavender,
One of these.
I mean, that would be pretty cool with a really sort of vibrant red.
So would you see this section of the dial being almost like an iceberg?
Yeah, I like that.
And then we could do the extras with green.
The sort of...
It's funny, really, because these...
Just like little pops of green.
Colours with this.
A little bit of
so it could be like trees under snow.
A little bit of life.
A little bit of life.
A little bit of life. For now, should we go on to the rock one? I really like the way the waves shape the rock over millions of years. It's quite cool.
Which one's going to win? As soon as you say the sun never sets on time and tide. So really what you've actually got here is a purple and white gradient, and an orange and white gradient, really. This one part of the dial is being this, and another part is being that.
And that's black, like here. So that could be an accent colour.
Yeah.
Let's do a £700, 18 karat gold Beaucroft watch.
Yeah.
Barney will sell a lot.
Yeah.
I love an orange GMT hand.
You could have like a yellowy orange loom as well.
Barney, what's your favourite out of them?
It's going to have to be the wildcard version.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
just because of how different it is.
There's some really nice tones here, and I think if we're able to strip them back, find a place for them, this is quite strong.
Gentlemen, I have been ambushed. What are these papers? Is there these legal documents? Am I being sued again? What is happening? We hosted these two fine gentlemen in our studios in Cambridge. And they were immersed in Pantone charts, postcards, stories. And this is us taking their inspiration. We've mocked them up, we've rendered them. Now's the sort of time to present them to you and find the frontrunner. Well, in a very exciting game of patience, who's going to flip the first card and talk through it?
This design was very much inspired by rock faces, by water, aqua. One of the photographs was of the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah. We also realise that all time and tide locations, obviously of varying size, are on an island. Mm-hmm. So there is a transition of land to sea or land to water. Even Manhattan. You'd right.
Lots of different sized islands.
Interesting. We like the idea of that.
We've got a continent-sized island.
Yeah.
And we have this little thing that's UK, and then we have a very, very tiny stepping stone, Manhattan. Okay. Now, we're looking at it top-down. Is there a rail underneath? Is this an outer bezel? Like, is this an edged outer bezel?
It's not. It's actually a separate sort of negative space, if you like. So that is the base style. We like the idea of this almost being like an island, a planet, surrounded by a moat by the water. So kind of having that transition.
Well, there's one.
Got two.
Good start.
This is a countryside, of English countryside theme design here. So we've got, of course, all the green tones there. We've got the green grass, all the fields that we have. And then in the central part of the dial, there was a lot of hints of stone, bark stone. You've got that warm, earthy stone element.
We like the idea of this one almost being like new earth, kind of new life. This could be earth, this could be soil, sort of life coming out. You were talking about moss covering the British stone and getting those little specks.
Good storytelling.
This is number 3.
Whoa.
Bold. Very bold.
We spoke about the idea that now that we have 3 studios, the sun will, never set on those locations. Well, they will set on the locations, never set on time and tide. It's quite a cool little add in there.
That's why I'm so tired.
Yes, it's still nature inspired. It's a colour that is very different from the others. Purple and orange, it's not done very much, but you do see it in nature.
So I guess this one is the hardest one to replicate on paper because they're different effects, like galvanic treatments, the sunray. Like, tell me, in a way, it looks like I don't know. Is it just this angle, or is it a inverse gradient?
You're absolutely right. It is an inverse gradient, and it's something we hadn't seen before. That kind of double gradient, inverse gradient on a dial. We like the idea that this central hammer dial is the sun.
So this is the only hammered central dial.
Yes, and then we like that. To the story that James was saying, the sun never setting on time and tide. As in this chaptering, as the sun is setting on the chaptering, so going from that orange to purple, the outer is waking up. It's the inverse, so you get that
really showing
transition.
GMT, different time zones.
But is this solid gradient, as in won't change with angle, whereas this one looks more shimmery and more.
The chapter ring does have a sunray finish as well, which will give it that shimmer, as you said, make it quite dynamic.
Okay.
This one is slight, these are sort of etched rings.
Yeah.
In there, so it will catch the light in different ways, but it'll feel more satin.
It's like gorgeous from the sun. So.
A little bit like choosing from your children. People say you can't have a favourite, I definitely do. I'm not accepting that as an excuse. This, I think, is such a cool concept, and it could be one of these watches like a Rolex Celebration dial or like a Studio One dial that's particularly colourful. It could be something that people just are drawn to for its eye-catching nature. This one reminds me of a wrap on a Nissan. You know the purple? Do you know?
That's why we did it. Don't tell me so.
I'm not a car guy, but I see those cars and I'm like, who the hell would choose that? But the concept, the story is the best. The sun never sets on time and tide is easily the best story. But I really love that. I'd like to see the tone of the hands and indices being in this sort of a browny gold tone come out, and the warmth of that palette with the orange and the green is just, I feel like it's just got it has a temperature to it on the wrist. So I think this one's spectacular. But I mean, can we make two prototypes? Can we pursue this one? I know we're only meant to make one. You can then cut to the next scene where you're like, we're not doing it. Just like pat me on the head, send me back.
So welcome to Loopworks. So this is our new venture, our new watchmaking facility. So all of our watches are assembled here now by Neil and his team. It's been a real step change for us, kind of having our own space that we can sort of control all the elements. We obviously had it before. We always have done British assembly, but now taking full control of it has been a step change for us.
So now that we have Loopworks, we effectively have 3 full benches set up, so we can assemble up to about 600 watches a month. So that will be taking care of Beaucroft, and also bringing in brands that we want to champion and support and really add to their British story.
And we've got some awesome stuff on the table here.
We certainly have.
What have we got?
Well, this we see as the final piece of the puzzle to our edition that we've developed with you. And we've got to this point now where we have the dials on the table ready. And what we're going to do is build our special editions. We will build the first 3 under Neil's expertise, and the final one you guys are going to build.
So I think maybe we should get Neil to build the first Solaris.
Let's do it.
And get.
So I'm just going to start assembling this watch.
So this is what you guys created.
It's just putting the dial on and just screwing in the dial feet.
So I'm guessing you've done this a few times before then.
First time.
Neil's a plasterer. We just came in for this shoot.
So GMT hand goes on first.
Okay. So when you stick on the hands, does it need to be in a specific time, or it can be any and then?
It depends which hand it is, generally. I mean, the GMT hand I can put on anywhere. I can rotate that round. But once it's on at 12 o'clock, then the hour hand needs to be on at 12 o'clock as well.
Yeah, so you always realign them before each hand comes on.
Yeah. Right.
And the last one is the second hand.
That's the fiddliest one, as you'll find out very soon.
Yeah.
It's just such a tiny stem that you're balancing it on.
And just make sure that the hand is level, parallel with the dial as well. Give it a quick blow.
Ah, so that's what that was. Yeah. It looks like something at the dentist's.
It does a bit. It's quite similar in a way.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So the hands are all on. We're now going to put it into the case. So remove the crown and stem.
So pretty much all of Beaucroft watches are assembled from the top. Because we always like that tapered case.
Yes.
So we always like the case to kind of start disappearing away, which obviously means you have to, the only way to get the dial in is through the top. So some watches it will be all through the back
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could
So
have
all
that.
of ours have to be a 3-part case to accommodate that. So separate bezel, separate middle, separate back.
Okay, that's in. Crown and stem's attached as well. And now we just do a nice look over, make sure there's no dust or any marks anywhere. Make sure the hands have stayed parallel. And they come with the bezel.
So what would you say is the most difficult part for you when you're assembling?
It's, for me, I would say, is making sure everything's clean.
Okay.
Making sure the dial's clean. Some dials show every little speck. If you've got a black mirrored dial like the Obsidian on the Beaucroft, that can show every tiny little speck. So we just, once again, give it a little blow on the dial. And the bezel. And on it goes. Make sure it's at 12 o'clock. There we go. Okay, so now that we're happy with the dial being clean, bezel's clean, all hands are parallel, and there's nothing touching the dial, we'll go over to get the bezel on, just over here. It's all set up, ready to go. So I'll just put it on the first base, line it up. And before I put it down, just a cloth to cover and just to protect the bezel from any marks. On it goes.
That's so satisfying.
And there we are, bezel on. So now, back onto my bench, and then on the timing machine. We go.
So this is testing the accuracy.
Exactly that. So make sure it's got a nice, strong, healthy amp. Make sure the rate is correct and the beat error is low. That's what we're looking for here. We test it in 3 positions. So dial up, crown left, and then crown down. Are we just going to put the back on? And then I'll leave it for about an hour, just make sure it's keeping time, and then I'll test it again on the machine, just to make sure the amps and the rate are still strong.
Yeah, 2 new recruits today, so we've got James and Barney. We've got to put his hands on.
I got big fingers.
But I think, Barney?
Ooh, I'm in the hot seat.
There we go.
Brilliant.
You're going to look like you know what you're doing now. It's good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not. It doesn't feel flat.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got my finger gloves on.
Okay, so we do a minute hand at 12 o'clock.
Minute hand at 12 o'clock.
Push down.
Oh, it's come off.
James, you haven't got steady hands like me.
No,
That fine art degree means nothing.
it's all the coffees.
You're done. Lovely. Well done.
Hey,
Well done, guys.
there we go.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Beaucroft's new in-house watchmakers.
We'd sink the company, mate. Okay, so the time has come. We have the finished prototype. Time+Tide, Beaucroft. Andrew, I would love you to open this.
So this is the first time I've seen this watch. I saw the renders, which was on a table down there.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. Well, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at this. So we cut right at a perilous point in the narrative when I didn't decide. You didn't tell from the video so far which one I preferred, but I love this one. This is the GMT model that has a graduation from orange to purple. Unusual. The idea that hooked me and the reason we went down this path, or the reason that we chose this path, is the sun never sets on Time+Tide. It's just this lovely guiding northern star, as it were, because that's what this design is expressing. It's expressing this liminal place between night and day, because quite literally there is a studio open at every point in every day. Which
There's always someone working.
Exactly. There's always someone discovering a new watch, is how I'd like to think about it. But it is, I don't think I've seen a dial quite like this. This has this really, if you've ever been in an aeroplane flying above a sunset or a horizon line that has that purple and orange tones, it's beautiful. Barney, you're the spec man and also the resident watch
Nerd.
Well, look, I wanted you to say it, but tell me about this
I'll
watch.
gladly say
How would
it.
you describe this beautiful dial?
I'll
Because
gladly say
it's got two finishings on the dial.
Of course, in the central part, the GMT part of the dial, you've got this hammered effect, which honestly you don't see on this price point in terms of watchmaking at all. So just to see those two there, and you've got this lovely sort of semi-brushed finish on the outside, bringing that. Like I think you said this earlier, is the burnt orange and then the purple just going together.
Yeah.
I completely agree with the sunset. It's when you're on a flight, it's either morning, evening, and you're getting that perfect sunset, and you always want it to last forever.
There's a recessed center dial, and the GMT hand has its own space to navigate in, like this little step in the dial. It's really quite, again, just a lot of detail in a watch that is, what, 800 pounds?
800
Yeah,
pounds.
800 pounds.
Yeah.
Amazing price
And
point.
only 200 pieces, but we'll
Yes.
get to that. This is it's 39.5 millimeters in diameter, so exactly the same as the Element range already, which is just crazy. Again, because GMT usually it's a bit chunkier, it's bigger. 39.5. You've got a 46.5 millimeter lug to lug, so it fits.
That's what's happening there.
Yeah,
There's no lugs to speak of. It just drops straight off. Yeah.
Exactly. And then he's still got a very svelte 12.6 millimeters. And then, of course, movement-wise, because we've got the new GMT movement in there, so this is they're still sticking with Miyota. This is the 9075, which is the new GMT movement from Miyota. It's a cooler GMT.
And we have micro adjust on the bracelet.
Micro adjustment as well, so
Yep.
same as the Element
Let's
line.
demonstrate that.
We've got a push button just over here, and then you can put that out. You've got about 4 or 5 notches there, a few millimeters of adjustment. So there's always, again, whilst you are on that flight, travelling around, you've always got a little bit of adjustment there.
And one of my favourite things as well, it's got quick change as well. So if you want to put a leather strap or a rubber strap on, there's some really good options there for you. And Beaucroft do have strap options as well. So.
Well, look, guys,
Perfect.
well done. I'm really pleased that this was the decision to go down this, because again, dials are the thing that people respond to the most. They're the thing that immediately that I'm looking for as a way to differentiate. And looking around the studio, there's certainly no other dial that's about as close as you could get to this dial.
Yeah.
Which is another Beaucroft in a very vibrant orange. So in closing, guys, I'm going to ask you a question, but I do want to talk about why this happened, which is that our studios have talent. We have some of the most passionate watch loving people on the planet. As you know, if you've ever met our team, you met Barney or James or Sergi who's sitting here, or Armour, or even Russell. When you run into our team, we fly the flag every day for the hobby of being into watches. And I wanted to see what could come if I put these gents in a room with a brand that are just so open-minded. They're so creative themselves. Like this, as I said, that this very functional slimming of the mid case, it also emulates the bridges that are in Cambridge. I went on a barge with Matt and Karim and my wife, and they were pointing out the design language that echoes here. So a lot of thought's gone into the brand, a lot of thought's gone into the watch. The studio absolutely has talent, and if you ever join the Time+Tide team, these are the kind of escapades and adventures you can get going on. Boys, my last question is, what didn't you expect? What really surprised you about this process? Because I suppose you, like many others, have looked on at Time+Tide editions as they've emerged and probably thought to yourself, I could do better than that.
Oh, I wouldn't think that, Andrew. Just probably the whittling down of designs, finding out what's best. Everyone's got a different opinion. Everyone's got a different favourite. I think that was a challenge.
The difference of those initial early designs from coming into the ones that Matt and Karim sort of guided us down that route, along with ourselves, of course, and just seeing the difference between the final design choice and the early ones, it's completely different.
200 pieces, 800 pounds, on sale now, hopefully still on sale. It's probably going to be a popular watch, given how different it is to others and the fact that it rocks a GMT for that price. Guys, let's do this again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes, do it.
Thank you.
You've had your first watch done and dusted. What do you think of this? Would you ever, do you think of editions yourself? Do you often look at a brand that you love and think, oh, if only they did it this way? It's very much what occupies a lot of my brain, is thinking about what else could we do and what else could a brand do. So tell us below. Gents, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I just take this now? Or?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just
So
see you
good,
later,
get him.
guys. Yeah.